if you're in India, is what I'm saying. No. हाँ वही ना, like I'm saying some slot between 12:30 and 2:30, either 1 to 2 or 12:30 to 1:30, whatever. Not like 3 hours. Like let me go out, watch a movie, come back. Well, there are quite a few people on the call as well. Great. Bad day to have a bad throat when you are like presenting and all you need to do is speak. Thank you. Yeah. It's the validation I needed. Hello. Is this working? Okay, we'll start and as people settle in, but we'll start because again, I worked a lot on this, so I want to cover all of it. Although it's kind of difficult, but we'll try. Okay? Yes, sir. Okay, you can't. Uh, how did we fix this? Pehle? We went here, na? Now you can. Cool. Cool. Balance number three. Balance number three is input versus output. Uh, very similar to probably the volume and the personalization one, but a little different. Okay, let's figure it out why. Okay, here's another typical scenario. All these scenarios I have gone through in my personal life, that's why they are here. Manager, your call numbers are low, your emails are not personalized, you leave the office early every single day, you don't go over and above your job role. The SDR says, I just hit 150% of my goals this quarter. If you would have made more calls, sent more personalized emails, built connections, you would have hit 300%. Who's right? SDR is right. SDR is right. Is the manager right? He's also right. Okay. Who's wrong? Someone said situation. You're absolutely right. Whoever said this, you're absolutely right. The situation is tricky because both of these folks are absolutely right. If you, I mean, I've put the manager in a negative spot here, if you will, that oh my god, like always poking their nose in between the job role of an SDR when they are achieving their targets as well. That's not the point, and you'll see why, because they are not quite in the negative here, but at the same time the SDRs are right. Let's see how. Next, the story of Manjunath. I posted this on LinkedIn as well. I was on my way to WeWork 2 weeks back. uh, I'm not lying because this is okay, this is 2 weeks back. Okay. Booked an Uber today in Bangalore at 9 a.m. rush hour. This is all of this is true. Okay. Arrived in 3 minutes. No extra tip. AC was on. Driver was not talking on the phone. Drove safely. Phone was not buzzing with new ride notifications. There was some light music playing and the cab was clean. It's not quite often that this happens in Bangalore, right? All of this together. It's funny how what ideally should be the norm felt like a super pleasant cab experience. I ended up tipping one, and I swear I did because I was so happy. In 2.5 years, at least in my journey in this city, all of this together has never happened. It has happened in pockets, right? I even clicked a picture because I was so happy that I really wanted to post about it. And one of the things that you can start doing is post like random things on LinkedIn. You'll get to know how your thought process is with the kind of engagement. So 272 likes is a lot of engagement, which meant that a lot of people resonated with it. Okay. What does this have to do with input and output? Let's see. Yeah, just cross it. Cool. Next slide. His name is Manjunath, by the way. 5 stars. I wrote a very big review on Rapido or Uber about him. This is the other side. Booking a cab in Bangalore feels like a test of patience, takes forever to get approval, waiting. I thought Delhi had its issue, blah, blah, blah. Trying to get a cab in Bangalore 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Don't accept, cancel, don't cancel, demand double. You have worked 30 minutes, pay extra. You already know the other side. It's very frustrating. Uh, Most of the times, cabs are not clean, and one of the personal issues that I face at least is when I book a AC cab or a AC premium, I still have to request the driver to put the AC on. And most of them do put it on, but some of them still don't. And when they put it on one, and then you tell them to put it on two, they do, and after 1 minute, they put it back on one. Has this happened with you all? Because this is a constant issue. I like tend to get very sweaty inside a cab. My personal problem, right? But yeah, constant issue, and I'm very sure drivers have their reasons, right? Let's not like point fingers here. But the problem is this is a constant challenge. Okay, what does this have to do with input and output, SDRs? Why am I telling you these stories? Let's figure it out. Next, think about it. Take 30 seconds. Think about the story of Manjunath and the story together. I'm not expecting any answers. Just take 30 seconds to draw some parallels. Anyone wants to say anything? Any parallels? Yes, I saw you raise your finger. And now you have to answer. I've put you in the spot. Yeah. Right. Right. Perfect. Perfect. That's it. Manjunath gave his. See, both of them have the same KPIs. These guys get incentivized on number of trips completed in a day, right? And the second thing is, I think the over and above they go and the distance they go, so on and so forth. That's where the incentives lie. The incentives do not lie on keeping the cap clean. It used to when the reviews meant something, the 1 star and the 5 stars. I'm mostly confident and sure it does not mean anything now, right? I'm mostly confident. I haven't fact checked this, but I'm mostly sure it doesn't mean anything. That's why they don't do it. They don't care if the cabs are clean or not. It's not one of their KPIs. It's not in their incentives. They don't care if they keep the AC on or not. Like customer experience is not one of their KPIs. So most of them don't care. If you build incentive structures around it, they would start caring, right? Because now my incentives depend around it. Input and output, right? The only input from those cab drivers is point A to point B. That is it. That is what they care about. That's why they keep talking on the phone. Nobody cares. But Manjunath was different. His incentives are the same, by the way. But he was a little different. That's why he stood out. That's why he got the 100 rupees as a tip. That's why I clicked a picture of him. And now 30 people here and hopefully 10 people on the call are listening about him, right? Something happened. Next. I took an interview in Zycus. The date here is Jan 5, 2021. I don't know why this keeps changing. Yeah. So I took an interview. This is from the candidate. Just wanted to thank you for your time and your effort in making this interview feel breezy. Your answers have really helped me. I took a screenshot and I really felt very good about it. I didn't have to go over and above to take an interview. I reached a position where I am on the other side of the table. I'm taking interviews, but I used to put a lot of effort in taking interviews. I used to pre prep, right? Absolutely knowing what the other person is thinking about, what their KRAs are, why are they talking to me. You do this when you are interviewing, when you are the candidate, not the interviewer. But I was like, if I have to take a very good interview, I need to go over and above, right? Input versus output. I didn't get incentivized, by the way. My company did not pay me more money, more incentives, Amazon gift cards, free vouchers, bigger lunch breaks for taking qualitative interviews. Just FYI. Nobody does. Nobody does. Next. Think about it again with the interview story. Do you see any parallels? Qualitative interviews versus volume interviews. Next slide. Here's a quiz, very quick quiz. Aditya, you can also participate in this. Person A, 130 kgs, drinks Coca-Cola all day, thinks more than he does. This what is does. Works 2 hours in a day. This is a live scenario, by the way. I haven't made this up. Just FYI. Person B weighs 75 kg, built like an ox, six-pack abs, does more than he thinks, works 10 hours a day. Just take a guess who's person A, who's person B. Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli. Good guess, yeah. Good guess. I'm very sure Rohit Sharma is not 130 kgs, but good guess. I'll give it to you. Anyone else? What is your first thought about person A? Lazy, moron, no chances of being successful. 2 hours a day, Coca Cola all day, 130 kgs, keeps thinking. Is built like an ox, six-pack abs, 10 hours, 15 hours. It's so obvious who's successful in life. Next slide. Not so much. Next. And this is actually true. You can read all about Warren Buffett. You can see his interviews, TED Talks, everything. He does nothing in a day. All he does is think, reads books, doesn't work more than a couple of hours a day. He's a fifth, sixth, seventh, I don't know the number of like in the richest men in the world, but he's there, alive, 90 plus years old, still drinking Coca Cola all day. And this goes against everything in the world, goes against biology, goes against physical fitness, endurance, you name it. This is, if like a doctor sees this, I don't know, he'll run away or she'll run away because, yes, I see a raised hand. Okay, no worries. Because it goes against biology. You are ruining your body. There is no physical fitness. You eat, drink everything that is junk because you are an investor in Coca Cola. So you drink it all day. He is 90 plus because he has a stress free life. Stress is the number one, I think, disease in the world, and this guy has proven it. Zero stress, absolutely zero. This guy is a bricklayer, built like an ox, six-pack abs, does more than he thinks, works 10 hours a day, right? Now everyone is like, ooh, it was always person A who was more successful, huh? Anyway, next slide. Anything comparable to the story? Input, output? Because in the previous example, the balance went completely the other way. It was all output, almost no input. But in the example previous to that, the Manjunath or myself, it was all input. The more I give, the more I get in return. Not with Warren Buffett, apparently. Next. Great. Typical scenario again, 4 quadrants. SDRA, 50 calls, 50 emails in a day, 1 meeting in a day. High effort, high result. B, 50-50, 1 meeting in a week. High effort, low result. C, 10 calls, 10 emails. Low effort, low result. And D, low effort, high result. This slide is actually from a 2019 presentation, I remember. Why this D is in green? Because I used to be this person and I used to believe that this is the way. That I'll put in the least amount of effort to get the maximum amount of result. But at the same time, I won't double it. Because if that least amount of 2 hour effort is doubled, this one becomes 2. And it takes me out of the quadrant, somewhere here. You would have to plug in the charger. It's running out of battery. Yeah. If you double the effort, you would get more results. But I used to be super proud. Why do I have to work more than 3 or 4 hours a day when I'm producing like one meeting in a day, as you probably want? That's why I had put it in green. I did not get the time to probably change the color, right? The magic is actually here. High effort, high result. And I'll tell you why. Again, not being paid to say this. This is actually true. Next slide. The magic bullet here is that output should always ideally be an outcome of the input. Okay. Why? Let's see. Examples. One pill for everything. See ball, hit ball. That's Sehwag. He has always done this all his life. Nobody dares to hit a six when they are on 294, being the only batsman in India who has ever crossed a 300. Nobody does that. You have to be insane to do that, right? He hit a six when he was on 294 to reach 300. He's another level. Okay, always output focused. Sometimes zero, sometimes 300. Very bouncy track record. If you see Sehwag's track record, Sachin, uh, I read, I think, one of his books. He practiced one shot, I think, 10,000 times and multiply that by, I don't know, 100 shots. That's what his dedication was. Completely input focused, consistent hundreds. He's still the number one player. I mean, there are obviously ongoing debates between him and Kohli and him and others and Ponting and everything. But fact of the matter is, he's still considered one of the best players that has ever played cricket. Next. Mr. Ramsey, Gordon, who sees MasterChef? This is Gordon Ramsay from MasterChef. He never starts by fixing the food. The ones who see, I think MasterChef would know this. Always fixes the kitchen cleanliness, ingredient quality, chef discipline. He fixes the inputs first. And then probably thinks about why the dish is not working well. That's his modus operandi, if you will. Right? Next. Netflix. This is a case study that I read. They obsess over completion rates, rewatch patterns, and pause points. How many times in a day do you pause? What is the name of the series that Aryan Khan has come up with? Bollywood, badass of Bollywood. Yeah, they actually simulate environments where they would study how many times a person has paused probably the TV series or the show and engaged in a discussion and put it on. Because that's where the magic lies. When it is so good that you have to pause and discuss it with your partner. Ooh, what happened? Not the number of views. Because this is an output. If they figure this out, like make such great content that you literally have to pause a series in the middle just to interact and chat about what has happened, you have won the show, right? That's how they knew Sacred Games would work in India before making it. They already knew that the show is a hit because they made it in a way that would engage such long discussions that it is still being discussed. If you think about the ending of the game of the series Sacred Games, the ones who have seen it, uh, they left it on a cliffhanger so that it keeps getting discussed. This is something that Christopher Nolan does as well, right? Next. Okay, so here the balance is tilted towards input. It's not all input, by the way, just FYI, but it's tilted towards input. That's where your ideal balance is. Next. Why? Your meetings, I'm very sure your KPIs and your incentives depend on meetings and SQLs. That's how it generally is, or pipeline, or a combination of it. Your meetings and SQLs tell you what happened in the past, not what will happen. If you have hit your 3 SQLs or $100,000, $500,000 in pipeline for the month or the quarter, that does not guarantee what you will do in the next quarter, even if you have successful quarters every single quarter. What guarantees it is inputs, because inputs are the leading indicators that predict future success. If you can come up with a mechanism, right, of your leading indicators on the number of personalized emails that you need to send in a day or the number of calls you need to make in a day, the output will take care of itself, just like it did for Sachin, Gordon Ramsay, and Netflix, right? It doesn't need to be like absolutely bizarre inputs. I mean, You can't make a matrix where you say I'll fix all these inputs and my output will like reach the sky. No, you have to really think about it very deeply. Okay, quality inputs create compound effects. Good CRM hygiene. I remember we discussed this, right? That I'll come to it. What does it do? It does better targeting, which leads to higher conversion. Because if your CRM data is not correct, you'll use the incorrect data to create an incorrect sequence, send it to a correct persona to whom it will not make any sense. And this happens, this very much happens. In the CRM, I used to go and see what my previous SDRs from 3 years back had spoken to about the same prospect. One of the guys was a genius. He had written, this prospect picks up calls at 9 a.m. on Wednesdays. That was the first line in the CRM. I called him at 9 a.m. on Wednesday and the prospect picked up. Right? Good data. That's what CRM is for. Thoughtful personalization, better responses. And the input paradox, obsessing over outputs actually reduces it. SDRs who chase meetings have poor quality SQLs. They don't close. They don't close for the business. And you might be in a space, I'm very sure, where you would have questioned, ha, so what? Right? What do you care? What do you care if, like, an opportunity that you all created that became an SQL closes or not for clear? Trust me, even if you don't, I'm very sure some of you do, but even if you don't, you will, right? Because it's a bubble. Companies run on money, companies run on revenue. If revenue is not there, the SDR team can produce thousands of SQLs in a month, but they are not converting. So, what will happen is after 6 months, people will start thinking if the SDR team is needed or not. What is the point of 1,000 SQLs if they don't convert, right? Although you have done your job, but that's not about it. You have to think deeper. As we started the presentation, how to probably focus and think about becoming a world-class AE, right? A lot of paths from an SDR. So you have to think about these things because you can go and proudly say that I closed a Britannia or a PNG or a Reliance or a Geo or I don't know, one of the big players in EU. And I was the one who probably got this opportunity from scratch. You can put that on your LinkedIn. I still get asked about the logos that I closed in my last gig. That's what it makes a difference about, right? Next. High value inputs, low value inputs. You have to focus here. You have to minimize these. Spray and pray emails, generic cold calls, admin tasks, follow ups. Less of these, more of these. Next. Leading indicators. There are 12. You can take a screenshot or whatever, like picture of this if you have to. If you have to really track things, this is what you should track. This is for an SDR. Call dials, connect rate, how many calls get picked up, positive conversations, super important in roads, right? How many positive conversations are you having even if they don't convert into a meeting? Call pickup time, as I stated. People are habitual. People pick up calls at a certain hour and they always pick it up at that hour. That's how people work. Email sent, personalized emails, response percentage. This is LinkedIn, this is Loom videos or personalized videos. There are 12. Some of you would be like, shut up. This is way too many. I'm not going to track this every single day. Fair. Next. Track these 4. These are absolutely critical because you have to. You see this image? There is a little date here. This is the year 2009, 2008. I was about to give my board exams for 12th. I had a veranda. There was a space or this thing on veranda where you could do pull-ups. I never visited the gym because I was like, I don't know, 16, 17 years old. But I used to do pull-ups on that, this thing, on that roof. Just to pass time, not to build a body or anything. But the point is, this is the tracking. You see this M, T, W, T, F, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. These were the tally marks. I had the technology like wasn't that great back then. So you had to do it using tally marks. This is 5, 11, 2000. I'm very sure this is 9, right? This is how I used to track. And I became obsessed with tracking, right? Because if you can't track it, you can't measure it, you can't make it better. Okay. Build a tracking mechanism, even if it is an Excel sheet, it's a personalized dashboard, it's on GPT, whatever it is. These four are very critical. Your number of call connects, the emails you send, the personalized emails you send, and the number of inroads, like positive conversations, whether it's on email, whether it's on LinkedIn, whether it's on calls, anything. Very critical. Track it on a daily basis, you'll see yourself succeed. Next. Okay, so I'm consulting these days. I don't work in a full time company. This is what I track for that company on a daily basis. I'm running their outbound engine, one person army, because I'm building a system that can be automated, right? 120 leads, 320 emails, 217 open, 18 clicks, 4 replies, 3 positive replies, 2 bounced. This is actually being done by a tool and not me, but I just want to show how the tracking is done. Right? Next. This is also a company that I'm consulting with. Here, engagement is very important. So we track on a daily basis or a weekly basis how many post views we are getting, how many comments, how many user posts, etc. etc. Next. Leading indicators. If there are SDR managers in the room, input metrics, your team's inroads, the number of meetings you book, meeting show rate, extremely important. A lot of people skip this, but a lot of meetings you all book don't show up. The prospects don't show up. This ratio is critical for the SDR managers. What meetings are actually getting converted into pipeline? Account penetration score. Like there is a touch point in the account, but how many prospects are there? Are your SDRs reaching out to all prospects in a given stipulated time with personalization, with follow-ups, right? Account reach out score, the width of it, how many prospects are being reached out to? Sequence tracking, right? Channel metrics, SQL to pipeline to closed one, CRM hygiene. These are critical for SDR leaders, right? Next. This is my LinkedIn tracking mechanism. I do a lot of writing on LinkedIn because I get my clients from there. What happens is I write, people see, some people get impressed and they want to work with me. So if you see here, here is Thinkify, the client I'm working with, right? His name is Karthik. Then there might be another one, Parth, Chog, somewhere here. But anyway, this is my tofu. This is my top of the funnel. This is how I get my business by writing on LinkedIn. But this is the way I track. Next. For managers, super important, which activities drove actually conversations? Get more qualitative about it if you're tracking it. What messaging got responses? Which accounts showed buying signals? Why are they talking too clear? Right? Why do they want to buy? Is AE or SDR feeling confident about the opportunity? Why or why not? Super important, right? All of these you can cover in your weekly, daily stand-ups or whatever. Critical. Next. Yeah, so we know where the balance lies. The balance lies somewhere near the input and not entirely at the input. It's a little output, but more towards the input. Any questions? No? Is it too fast? It will be too fast because I have to cover a lot. Anything else? No thoughts? No nothing? Someone has to say something here. Everything was very clear. You're doing brand marketing. Great. Next slide. Okay, the favorite one. Everyone is here. Non-AI native SDR versus AI native. Who's a Pokemon fan? Who's watched Pokemon when they were kids? Nobody. Okay, one, two. You forgot everything, but you remember Pokemon, right? I'm not going to ask you the names of these people and how they got evolved. That's not the point. But you remember the concept, right? Anyone else? No? That's okay. That's okay. It was like I used to watch it in my childhood, so you all might have been born then. I don't know. Like I don't know the age gap. But anyway, this is evolution. This Pokemon was Charmander, if I remember correctly, and Charmeleon and Charizard. Where we are moving. Non-AI native SDR versus an AI native SDR. And what do they mean? What is this? We keep hearing about it, right? Next slide. Next. Evolution. In the 1900s, there were no cars. We had a lot of horses. All transport, commercial or personal, was horses. With the evolution of the steam engine and the car, this is how the graph went. We still have horses. They are not mostly used for transport. They are used for horse racing and probably other stuff. But it's gone now. The mechanism of using horses for transport is finished. It's over. It's not there anymore. Cars are just evolving, right? And not just evolving, like the car as a subset is also evolving. At a steam vehicle, then a combustion, then a gasoline. Now we have electric vehicles. And where are we moving? Hydrogen. We were moving, but I don't think that's the answer. We are moving towards more autonomous cars, driverless cars, right? Next. And with driverless cars, it's not that you didn't have driverless cars back then. It has, the concept has been there since the 1920s. This might be a surprise for you. The first experiments done for driverless cars was in 1920s. In 1980s, Mercedes came up with cameras and computers inside cars. 90s, you could like change lanes, stay in lanes. There were experiments done around this. In 2000s, you could actually like do city rides. And today you have a Waymo and a Tesla and an Uber and whatnot, and they are here without the drivers. They are driving. That's not in India, but it's happening in the West. In India, it's a little tricky because, of course, it's tricky, right? And that's what we are going to talk about. Next. Has anyone come across this artisan on LinkedIn? They are quite famous or infamous for AI SDRs. They say they have figured out a way to automate everything that an SDR does, and they have created this AI SDR for it. So AI SDR comes, AI SDR calls, AI SDR sends emails, AI SDR books meetings. That's what they're claiming. There is another company called 11x AI, something like this. Direct competitor of Artisan. You can Google it. It just went bankrupt because they were telling lies. I still can't say the same thing about Artisan, if they are or not, but something is happening, okay, out there in the world with AI SDRs. You just need to Google about it and you'll get like plenty to read. Next. This was their marketing campaign. Hire artisans, not humans. Stop hiring humans. Stop hiring humans. Hire Ava, the AI BDR. Stop hiring humans. They had put all these billboards in New York City, everywhere. If they have the guts to do this, there is something. Okay. I'm not saying they have figured it out, but something has been figured out in the AI SDR space. Next. Let's compare it to the drivers, self-driving cars in the 1920s. Many AI SDRs roll spammy sequences. You remember the ones I showed you right in the beginning, which sound similar, look similar, have nothing to do with anything? That's what is happening. They have figured out a way to automate that at scale. Okay. In 1980s, cars got better. They were using cameras and computers. So SDR roles are getting better as well. Now AI is getting trained on personal data. So it is that an AI SDR can study all of Clear's data, ClearTax's data, and then build sequences around it. But it might not be the best one, but they can figure that out, like GST compliances and everything, and send emails around it. That is there in the world. 1990s, where cars could drive on highways, AI is also booking some meetings. That is also happening. But you still need SDRs. That's what I think, at least we are at where we are today. Because it is not very impressive on surface. There is not a lot of context. They can't do objection handling. They can't read a CFO's mind on a cold call. They can't probably like as you know why driverless cars are not in India, right? You know the potholes and the traffic and the very tricky situations where anyone can like come out of the car and like hit your car and everything. AI doesn't know how to handle that. Driverless cars don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to bribe cops. They don't know all of these tricky situations, right? It is very complicated. Like the Indian transport system, the roads, the vehicles, it's a very complicated infrastructure. Driverless cars exist, but they can't exist, at least in India, not for the next few years. They will eventually figure it out, I'm very sure, but we are not there yet, right? Because it's a very complicated situation. If your CFO is in a bad mood on a cold call, it's a complicated situation. If probably you need to personalize and scale, it's a complicated situation. If there is a if there is a sudden change in probably GST compliances in India, AI SDRs can't like read the news every single day and come up with and hey, there is a change, I'll change the sequence. A human needs to do it. They can't do it, right? Next. Core lessons for human SDRs at least in 2025. You need to assist. Edge cases matter. There is a lot of regulation and there is a lot of destination as well. Like full replacement is really far, but partial replacement is happening. I have to break it down to you. It is happening in some pockets. We are not there yet. We are absolutely not there yet, but some parts of it is already happening. Next. So another example, in the 1970s, you know how ATMs work, right? It is called as an automated teller machine. Why is it called that? Because there were bank tellers back then. They were still called bank tellers. Their job was deposit money, count money with hands, like write it on the paycheck or whatever their ledger is, and deposit it. You can do it with the ATM now, right? You can do most of the things with the ATM that the bank tellers did in 1970s. It's entirely automated. But the number of bank tellers are actually more than what they were in 1970s today. Why? Because their role got evolved. The things that could be automated got automated, right? And now what started happening is they started taking care of customer relations, opening a new bank account. Their role completely got evolved from what they were doing right now. That is what is going to happen with the SDR world as well. Your role sooner or later will start evolving. It is not going to be about only sending emails, only making calls, only sending LinkedIn messages. It is going to become more contextual. It is going to become more consultative. It is going to become more rich. That is where the world is going. Okay, next. Okay, you need to build your AI prompting skills. Please, please, please start doing this sooner than later. It is very, very important. This is how most SDRs do it. Write a personalized email to CFO of PepsiCo India pitching clear tax. I've seen it with my eyes. Everyone does it this way, right? And this is what you get. This is very, very, very generic email, right? Which has some parts, yeah, your role at clear tax, shared a perspective, finance operations, but it doesn't have any value because your prompt doesn't have any value, right? Next. Look at this prompt. Act as a top performing SaaS SDR from Clear. You can copy paste this, buddy. Yeah, use it. Awesome. Awesome. Research Kaushik Mitra and PepsiCo India. In first person, share what you would have to do about a teammate. Now switch to the third person. Merge both insights together, right? Just show the output, Shreyas. Next slide. This is what the output is. It comes up with a holistic research. Okay. Quick research, who the CFO is, what he is doing, what is PepsiCo doing, what is sustainability about. Next. Then it tells you what I would say to a teammate in first person. Next. Then it would critique it. It would take the negative side of it. Next. And then it would write this hyper personalized email. And you can try it with the prompt. This is coming right out of GPT. Intriguing to discover you're both PepsiCo India's CFO and author of Crossing Over. It went on the internet and found a book that the PepsiCo India CFO has written. And the subject line is Your Crossing Over Philosophy. If you had written a book and someone writes a subject line related to that book, you would open it. And he has drawn parallels of the book as well as probably PepsiCo and then probably built a very, very, very creative hyper personalized email about it. That's how you use GPT. And not in the way that write a hyper personalized email for PepsiCo's CFO. That's not the right way. Your prompting needs to be immensely more rich so as to get probably this kind of an answer, right? It cannot be fully automated. There is no AI SDR. There are AI native SDRs, the ones who need to understand and know how to probably use AI. Right? Next, Shreyas. Yeah. And now think about all of this. What all can you use AI for the chaos that you had, that we studied in the very beginning? Finding the right ICPs, studying tax compliances. I used to use it like a few months back when I was working full time with my one on ones as well, because my one on ones was with the founder of the company. So I was at a position where I was reporting to the founder and I had to come up with like some brilliant thoughts very quickly. So I used to like tell GPT to, this is the context, tell me some out of the box ideas. I used to do it. Okay. Value props for finance cloud if you need to be creative. A lot of things here you can do using AI, right? Next. This is a custom GPT. I'll share it with you all. I've personalized it as per Clear Tax's ecosystem. Uh, we can do a live demo as well, actually. It's, and you tell me if it's working or not, okay? Is it okay if I take 5 more minutes? Sure, Aditya? Okay. Because I really want to show this and I made this in like half an hour. So I'm not 100% confident of how great it will work, but I can tell you it will work. So it's called Clear Cold Email Generator for SDRs. Okay. I've given it a, I've created it custom according to probably what Clear Taxes emails should look like. Shreyas, can you just type CFO? Give me any company that you're prospecting quickly. Yamaha Motors, CFO of Yamaha Motors, Yamaha Motors India, and just write email sequence space email sequence. Hit enter. Again, it won't do the perfect job because I need to really optimize it. I only had half an hour with me, but it should do some job. Let's read it. Keeping up with compliance shifts. Hi, whatever the name is. I saw Yamaha Motors' recent focus on expanding exports into the Asian and the EU markets. With every new region, compliance rules around e-invoicing and tax reporting seem to be changing overnight. The other CFOs I speak with say the hardest part isn't strategy, but ensuring compliance teams don't drown in manual reconciliations. We have been helping auto majors in India to stay focused. Is this worth exploring or not? I know it's not there, it's not 100% personalized, but does this give you a starting point? This is AI. You wrote one line because I wrote the entire prompt for you while making the custom GPT. You can't do it with Chat GPT. If you give the same prompt to Chat GPT, it will produce rubbish. But this is a custom GPT. And it has produced the entire email sequence. Just go down. Yes. One hundred percent. 100%. Yes. Hmm. 100%. Yeah. This is like, this might be 50% there. If you want to take it to 80, 90%, it's going to be more focused and it's going to require a lot of input from what you all use. I only had 30 minutes with me and could Google only so much, right? But 100%, I agree with him. There is a lot of optimization to be done, but it's the point is it's way better than if you just start prompting something like CFO of Yamaha, write a personalized email for me. That produces rubbish. Yeah, go on. Hmm. What deck are you talking about? Products. Huh. Fair. Huh. It will produce a better result. It will not produce the best one, but better, better nuanced context always works. So you can be like, study this deck, now write this personalized email, it will work better. Right? Cool. I can absolutely share this GPT with you all. Please use it if you want to. Okay. Great. Shreyas, just move to the first tab. But I'm happy to know it has done a decent job. Yeah. No worries, man. Great. So we know where the balance lies. The world is evolving, has evolved. It's not the same. I was an on AI native SDR back in the day when there was no GPT, no LLM. The world is very different. My daily world did not involve a lot of like GPTing things, but today it's very different. It's moving there. I still believe, to the truest of my knowledge, that there will not be any AI SDRs completely which work autonomously. That's my personal belief. Maybe 10 years down the line, it changes, 5 years down the line. I don't see it happening. The reason I don't see it happening is because they are only automating those things which like non-performing SDRs used to do. Repetitive tasks like calls on scale, poorly written emails which make some sense, some doesn't. But sure, you can land up a meeting or two with that, but you cannot really automate the context or probably the personalization behind it. That still requires a human. 2 years down the line, I don't know what happens. But today, if you're not AI native, uh, it's not going to work for you. So learn your prompting, experiment with GPT a lot. It's really going to change the game. I really wish it were there in my time, right? Okay, last one, and this is like 2 minutes, not more than that. Quota versus life. This is a little meditation probably on how you perceive your life while balancing all of this stuff. Next slide. I'm a top performer for the fourth consecutive quarter. Awesome. Will you take a session with the team? I got nervous. Moreover, I wouldn't want to share my tips and tricks. I had a couple of colleagues back in Zycles who were this way. That the ones who probably, next slide, the ones who probably were email experts couldn't cold call. The ones who were calling experts, they couldn't write an email. The ones who were LinkedIn experts couldn't do either. The top performers started becoming super rude because not everyone can handle success. All of them had the same issue. I'm hitting quota, isn't that enough? Why do I need to take a session? Why do I need to train mentees? Why do I need to take mock calls? Why do I need to be on a demo when it is the AE's KRAs, right? I don't need to be there. I've created the SQL. Why do I have to do discovery, right? Because I'm not being incentivized on it. Uh, okay, fair point. Next. These are some of, so I don't know the number, 50 to 100. That's the number of SDRs I've managed in my all my 10 years, right? These are a few of them, and I'm just giving you an example, some examples. Aditya, you might remember Nitin. He's a sales manager in Rippling. He was in Wingify. uh, Ruchika, I used to manage in Zycus. She's in Google. uh, Tanvi, I used to manage in Zycus, Spot Draft. Parth is an AE at Browser Stack. Pravina is an SDR manager at Procall. Debroop is an enterprise AE at Sprinto. Jinit is a founder's office in Entropic. Anupriya, she's getting married next week, by the way. She's in Dublin, SDR team lead at Softco, Dublin, Ireland. Arunima joined Wingify as an AE. Uh, Head of growth, this is Arushi. All of them started their journeys as an SDR. Okay, great. Like this is what's big in this, right? This is what it's supposed to be. No, you become an SDR, then a senior SDR, then you go into sales. What's the big deal? Okay, next slide. Okay, this guy is Webhov. He's an IAS officer. He used to report to me in Zycus. Medhavi, she used to report to me. She is in IAF, Indian Air Force. Nikita, Aditya, you would remember she was at Wingify as well. She has opened her own lighting business in Kolkata. Pragya has moved into fashion. Shivansh has moved into his dad's business. Meghna is in Canada. She's also doing something around entrepreneurship. It's very different. And back then, I mean, I sometimes have like, I get really emotionally overwhelmed when I think about this because it's just yesterday that I was working with all of these people. What were they doing? They were making cold calls, writing cold emails, and facing rejections every single day, getting phones slammed on them by their personas. That's what was happening. Not Indian Air Force, not IAS, not any of these things. What is the point here? Next slide. How you go about doing your SDR activities and how you go about balancing all of this, what we have just learned: input and output, volume and personalization, uh, uh, prospecting and non-prospecting activities, AI and non-AI. All of this is going to shape you into probably what you are going to become in the next 3, 5, 7 years. And this is not me who's telling this to you as a motivational speaker. This is 100% true. SDR roles are very early stage in your career. Some of you might be just out of college. Some of you might be 2 or 3 years experience. Some of you might be 5 years experience. Not mostly more than that, right? It is the early stage, and how you do one thing is probably how you're going to do everything. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Yeah. So the question is that how you go about these things is really going to matter. It's not in your KRAs, I think. Taking demos, is it? No, it's not. Would you want to? Abhi, because I think Aditya is sitting here, everyone would say yes. But ask yourself, have you gone over and above to try to take a demo with a very not so important persona? Maybe not a CFO, maybe a finance analyst or whatever. Have you tried doing that? Good. I see some like heads nodding. That's really great. Have you tried taking those discovery calls yourself? Is it in your KRAs or KPIs? Do you get incentivized? If you do get incentivized on it, that's good. But I used to be an SDR who didn't get incentivized on taking discovery calls. I still used to do it. Why? Because sooner or later it's going to shape you into a person or probably a career or probably something in life that's very, very directly related with it. What you do is one thing, but how you do it is really going to change the game. So, are you going to be an SDR who completes their numbers? Someone like me back in the day, that I'm hitting my quota, please leave me alone. I want to leave the office early and I want to get done with this. Here's your pipeline, go enjoy it. I used to be that guy. But that changed as I rose up the ranks. That completely changed. I got to understand the other side, the leader side, the organization side, and that completely changed things. And that's why I'm here today, probably taking this presentation, which were not happening if I had not changed myself. Right? Next. So the choice is yours. How you do it is going to define you as a person. Take it from me, the one who has probably seen all the curves back and forth from the SDR to probably what I'm here today. But think about this, meditate about this, as in how you do your prospecting activities on a day-to-day basis, how you help your colleagues, and how you probably work with your leaders in this SDR role is really going to be career defining. And SDRs are like, they are the backbone of any SaaS organization. That's not going anywhere. You all are in a very good sweet spot with AI. I really wish AI were there in my time. But like, happy to help anyone here. And thank you so much for allowing me to do this. Yeah, thanks. That's it. I don't know if we have time for a Q&A, but I can take a couple of quick questions if anyone has. Hmm. Not very active on LinkedIn. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Hmm. 100%. Yeah. I think this is the same problem we faced in Wingify with calls. I remember we were failing a lot, especially in Europe, with cold calls because our persona did not hang around their phones. Your personas don't hang around on LinkedIn, right? If I were in your shoes, I wouldn't prioritize LinkedIn as a channel. I would prioritize other channels, but at the same time, I would keep an eye. In quizzes, my finance head was active on LinkedIn. So there would be some who are there, who are reading, even if they are not very actively posting, who are there reading, and when probably the right message comes, they would want to maybe respond, but they are very cautious, is what I've seen at least with CFOs on what they say, what they don't say. But if I were in your shoes, I would still try to find those prospects who are active on LinkedIn and try to reach out to them, but I wouldn't prioritize it as a channel. Your persona is tied to their desks with phones and emails. That's where I would go. You can take a shot at it, at least in the India market. Leaders, please, you can feel free to run an experiment around it. I wouldn't conclude anything without data and experimentation. Uh, is what I studied at Wingify. But you can run an experiment around it. I don't know the answer to this. But if the data says so, you might want. You never know. Great. Yes, sir. Hmm. Yes. In India, people know. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Don't worry. Absolutely, absolutely. हाँ हाँ हम्म गॉट इट ठीक है टेल मी वन थिंग व्हाट वुड यू प्रेफर like who would you prefer talking to, someone who knows about clear or someone who doesn't? Who says someone who doesn't? Okay, who says someone who do know? And rest of you have no. Backbenchers have no. I won't even take the effort to put my finger up. Not even a hand. Come on. What do you prefer? Who doesn't? Doesn't. Why? I can talk to them as well. Please let me talk to them. I'll come to you, buddy. Yeah. Why? Who doesn't? If they don't know about clear. Are you saying they don't like clear? We can cut this part of the clip. Oh, they'll be like, oh, what's clear? And then you will find your opening. So you're saying there is already a brand image which they are not happy with. Fair, fair, fair. Is this your assumption or do you know that this is true? Which markets are you in? Which country mostly? So they don't know about clear and you can build your own brand and perception about clear. I think that's fair. That's very fair. Yeah. Uh-huh. Got it. Got it. Got it. I'll tell you what's happening. I think this is a very good question, and this is a very, very good and tricky situation. You know what? If you were not doing India, if you were doing a country like, I don't know, UAE, let's say, and there the brand was already established for clear, you wouldn't have this opinion. The problem here isn't that the brand is established in India. The problem is India. And I've seen this happen multiple times. Like all my last 10 years, India is a tricky market. With brand, without brand, with like if even if like Shreyas gets a cold call from Google, he might be like, no, I'm busy. It's there, it's our mentality, it's our psyche. So I think your question, think about this a little. I might be wrong in your context, but you need to understand what works with the India market first and then how to probably position clear than the other way around. Your problem is not around changing the brand image of clear. Usually, if I ask a question around what do you prefer, 100% of the audience would say, as SDRs, they would prefer calling in a region where people know them. I am consulting with companies nobody has heard about. Think if I was showing you, it is a one person company. The guy's name is Karthik. He works out of JP Nagar. He has built a 15-30 crore business though. Amazing for a one person company. But imagine my situation here. Like I make a cold call and say I'm calling from Thinkify, and the other person is like, what? And they are like, go away. What Thinkify? I'm not taking cold calls from Google. It is terrible if you have to start from scratch, especially in a region like India. It's very tricky. So think about this a little. I mean, I can also go home and think about it, but I think you have to think from India first. That what do CFOs prefer in India? What kind of messaging? And then build that brand image around it. That's my 2 cents. Fair? Cool. Anything else? Want something from the back, please? Yeah, thank you. It's like, okay, yeah, like, le. Yeah, sir. Yeah, 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 in iPhone. Yeah. Hmm. For sure. Hmm. Fair point, yeah, fair point. Many people, I think I keep reading these opinions on LinkedIn. Many people, when this update from iPhone was going to go live in the next release, they were like, cold calling is dead. Because now you have even killed that system where where I don't know who's calling me. It's like a true caller on every single phone by default. That's what it is. There is still a market here. There are a lot of non-iPhone users. That's one. Second, even for iPhone. So what people are doing is they are using those 30 seconds gap that you get as a voice note. So they are using it to probably say things on that voice note that allows that prospect to probably pick up the phone. Because as far as I know, and I might be wrong here, what you're saying gets displayed on the screen. Ah, okay. So you just need to bypass it. I think it's easier to do. I'll tell you why. These people were called gatekeepers back in the day when I used to prospect. And I had a limited set of accounts. I had like 50, 100 accounts. After 2 years, I knew the gatekeepers. As in, this gatekeeper would probably pick up and say, no, he's not there. I knew the tone as well she would speak. Right? And there are tricks around it. I mean, I don't want to say this on record, but at times I was like, yeah, give the phone to John. And she was like, yeah, who's calling? He's expecting a call. That used to, it's not very ethical, in all honesty. So I don't want to give you, it's not in the room, so I'm saying this, but I don't want to give you any unethical tips. What I'm trying to say is be creative. Bypassing the AI gatekeeper should be easier than the human one because there would be certain keywords if you use, you would be able to bypass them. So use it as a voice note, is what I'm saying. If the CFO can really see in front of a phone what you're saying, why don't you say the thing that matters to them? Use it as a teleprompting voice note. Say the right things in those 30 seconds which get displayed. Get them excited enough to pick up the phone. I won't be able to tell you, like, do a very good job here because I don't know the value props of Clear very well. But I'm very sure your leaders would be helping or would be able to help you crafting these 30-second prompts, which you can really use to get your decision makers excited about it. Is that making sense? Cool. Anything else? Yes, yes. Go on. You're speaking for the first time. I'm so happy.
Yeah, so usually I'm facing two problems. First is when I'm doing the outbound leads enrichment, right? So one day I said, and I started doing enrichment on Lucia and Apollo.
Yeah.
I did 25, 30 enrichment in a day, and then the next day I wanted to call, so I started calling, and then I figured out that for one particular account that I have actually invested my 10 15 minutes to basically find out who this go to account, blah blah. And then I realized that those numbers are not valid. Somebody picked the person which is saying I'm a taxi driver.
Give me some. Give me some numbers around it. How many did you enrich and how many were wrong?
So out of 25, I didn't call all, but I
Yeah.
was saying that I called somewhere 10 accounts, out of which I found out that 6 or 7 of them were like, I couldn't actually.
Great, yeah, great. Got it, got it. So here's what I would do if I were in your shoes. I have now a hypothesis that for my market, what is your market? For UAE, uh, the finance contacts that Apollo enriches are not really good in terms of data. This is my hypothesis. I go to my manager and say this, and they'll be like, "Ki, try more." Of course, you'll try more. Can you try till 100 contacts in 30 different accounts and present that data? All you need to do is 5 columns: number of accounts, number of contacts, right? Right data, wrong data, whatever. So there will be a percentage. If 40 or 50% of that data is incorrect, your leaders would take action. But right now, it's more that I called 10 folks and 6 or 7 numbers were wrong. So as an SDR, you need to be very thorough with your data, right? If you're making a business case of this is not the right technology for me, where is the data to prove it? So there is one thing called as internal selling. External selling is what you do with the prospects. Internal selling is what you do with the leadership. You need to present that data very clearly and factually with your leadership, discuss it in your one-on-ones, and find out a solution. That's what I would do. Because 10 might be here or there. Make it 100. If 50 are wrong, something is very wrong. And leaders need to take action. But if 20 are wrong, I'm still okay. Because if I'm calling 10 people and 2 are wrong numbers, that's fine.
So I'm not complaining. What I'm
Hmm.
asking is that if you were in my place,
Mhm.
you still need to find out the right POC.
Right.
What could you do?
There are a lot of more free tools. I would create some free accounts. I would try Lucia, Rocket Reach, Lemlist, and there are a lot of. I would Google Apollo competitors. There are 10. I would create free accounts on all those 10 and try to check the data sanctity on all 10. Whatever gives me the right data, I'll try to probably pitch that to the leadership for a paid account. That's what I would do.
Got it. So let's say that just in case, after using those as well, you were unable to find out the POC. So what I'm proposing here is, can I reach out to someone who maybe a sales manager, not the right POC, but then ask him if he could connect me with
You can
the
try it. There are a lot of borderline numbers.
but
So
will that be a wastage of time?
no, I don't know what the ecosystem today looks like in your region. In my time, you always used to connect with board lines. So you called the board line number of the company. There was either a automated gatekeeper or like a real gatekeeper, and you used to say like connect me to procurement, connect me to Mark Benson, connect me to this person. and your call got connected. I really don't know what the ecosystem looks like today, but you might try and see by calling 20 board lines and seeing what happens. Fair? Cool. One more question. Then we break for food. Yeah.
So coming from an international
Yes.
cold calling aspect.
Yes.
So if you consider countries like UAE or Belgium or etc.,
Yes.
they have strict compliance rules for TRDA.
Yes.
To not call this.
Yes.
So when you are going from a cold call
Yes.
aspect of you, and they ask you where did you get it?
Ha ha ha. Tricky. Leaders? Anything?
How do you answer this?
I have some answers, but yeah.
So, at least I'll take my reference and
Hmm.
I always used to kind of let them know that is, we use a tool called,
Hmm.
say, Zoom and
Hmm,
Call.
hmm, hmm,
I'm
hmm.
sure you would have heard about this tool.
Yeah, yeah. This is also a problem as old as time. There are some ways around it here. You can try saying, I found your number on the internet.
Did you try something?
There is no counter answer to this. Read what GDPR actually stands for. If they have intentionally put their number on internet and I went on the internet and found it on the internet, I'm by the book not breaking any law. Although it's tricky, it can get very tricky. It can like tarnish, clears brand image and everything. But you can be very smart about it, is what I'm trying to say.
Because people use corporate and have personal different. So if they do register, they will.
Yeah, personal pe to I wouldn't recommend you.
Because we don't know which is personal and which is corporate.
Fair, fair. Good problem here. I mean, which region? UAE. UAE में तो there is not a lot of restrictions. Europe में there is. There is?
Some numbers just given by the telecom industry.
Yeah.
We are not supposed to call these numbers.
Oh,
So if you call them, so they can just sue the company at any minute.
wow. I can read about this more here. I've not done tremendous amount of cold calling in UAE, so I'm not aware of these laws. But I'm sure there are ways around this because imagine if there are no ways around it, you're still doing it. Your leaders know you're doing it. They might be making you doing it, and their leaders are so everyone is in this loop. And I'm very sure most of the people up in the hierarchy, like these guys are way smarter than me, and he's too, and his boss is too. It would have been an immediate red flag if you weren't supposed to do this. Like ये तो option ही नहीं है. If it is an option, I'm very sure there is some potential solution. But I apologize, I don't have enough knowledge right now. But there are ways, I'm very sure, to probably, you know, jump the gun and not cheat the system, but be in your boundaries and make your way around it. I can read more about this though. But I used to use this very much in EMEA, that I found your number on the internet. Used to work. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. He's not ruining anyone's lunch break, okay? It's Friday. Come on.
So I have a question, and that is not regarding any prospecting or cold calling and something like that.
Yeah.
So just wanted to know, like, even SGR. So as you guys have tracked that, you all are having almost 2 to 3 years of experience. So I also belong to that category. So as an SGR, a person, like, this is very common that a person wants to become an A or an SGR manager.
Yeah.
So apart from that, so if the situation is like a person cannot become another to become an A in this area because they have experience.
Yeah.
Like that. So doesn't want to become an A.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to go for a new sales role.
Yeah.
So do you suggest any other, what are the other roles you suggest that can be marketing?
Yeah, inside the sales organization, at least in SaaS, there are different roles, which is SDR, AE, SDR manager, sales manager, VP sales, customer success, which is post sales, account manager. These are very standard in SaaS sales. If it's not any of these, then it's cross departmental, like in marketing. And there are 100 types of marketing departments in big organizations: brand marketing, demand generation, lead generation, product marketing, right? you need to understand what excites you. I think the approach you might be thinking of is, I'll try to find out what all roles are there and then think about it. Maybe try to question yourself what you're good at and what excites you, right? If I have seen brilliant salespeople join marketing and do a phenomenal job because they had that creative side on, their yang side on, right? And you can think about like what things excite you, what kind of a person you are, and then probably stitch a career to it than the other way around. If you are very much more excited about creative campaigns or like absolutely product 0 to 1, uh, bottoms up, right? You can think of something around product or growth or product manager or product marketer or so on. So do it the other way around is what I would say. Everything is, huh? No, that's everything. But that's not a. I mean, you just go on. Do you all have Sales Navigator? Go on Sales Navigator or go on normal LinkedIn, search for jobs which say product marketing. How many are there? I'll tell you, millions. But why are they there if AI is automating? SDR openings are also in hundreds of thousands. Why is it there when AI SDR exists?
The other point to add to this is, say we have avenues like enablement
Yeah,
programs,
yeah,
strategy.
yeah,
So that is also a kind of a branching out mechanism for
100%.
SDRs to penetrate into, because they would be the masters in their craft,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the SDR side of things. They could kind of start a
Yeah.
entire
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I just showed you those slides, right? What all the SDRs have done, at least who were reporting to me, and there are more. It's absolutely bizarre, like the careers they have made out after their SDR roles, just by like being very creative about it. There's a lot of scope. Think about it, but think about it from your perspective. What do you want to do? What excites you, and then stitch a career to it, and vice versa.
Rohit has a question.
Oh yeah, we have someone on the chat. Yay! I'm so happy.
So he's asking you, Anuj, according to you, how important is it to know multiple languages for geographies that are influenced by regional languages?
Yeah, but what a great question. Why is Rohit not here?
We had a conversation in the
What region is Rohit doing?
he's part of the
UAE. The answer is, I think it is not. Uh, it is not paramount. I mean, it would be great if you can speak in Arabic, but I know most of the people know English there. They would prefer talking to someone in Arabic. They would be like, wow, let's talk. But it's not that there is a complete language barrier. I'll tell you where there is a complete language barrier: China, Taiwan, and we see it in our weekend sessions. That's why we are learning Mandarin, because I consult with a company in Taiwan, right? And oh God, oh my God, it's hard because there's so much communication gap. And they are like, they won't bend their ways. I have to, if I have to keep doing business with them. So I'm learning Mandarin. So there are regions which are impossible without a language, like China and Taiwan. Then there are regions where it is preferred. But it's not that you can't do away with English, because they speak English, like 70-80% of them do. But they would love it if you can speak with them in Arabic. So why don't you like learn some phrases? Why don't you learn how to say good morning, good evening, how are you? That can take you a long way, right? My counterpart SDR, I remember, used to write uh, salam alaikum instead of hello in her cold emails because she was doing UAE. Used to work.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
People, being the people leader, right, and looking at this larger team, we all wish our team members grow, achieve a lot.
Yeah.
The way that you were showing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
In this cohort of team members, we have interns, we have say talent with.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that. Who's an intern?
No, no, I guess we have a couple of.
Hi, hi, intern.
So Rohit is also an intern, right?
Okay.
So they are just out of college.
Wow.
And they are interning with us. And there are folks with 2 years of experience.
Right.
And there are folks with 4 to 5
Amazing,
years.
amazing.
So that's a split. On an
Yeah.
average, we are a team of 2.5 years
Yeah, yeah,
kind
yeah.
of an experience to you, right? So, if you're looking at today in this generation, the avenues, the opportunities are immense.
Yeah.
So, if, say, I had examples of my team members going and setting up a BDR team
Yeah.
or being in a founders team
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
multiple avenues, right? So, if you're looking at from a career standpoint, from a longevity, from a
Hmm.
long-term perspective, what is your advice to the budding talent where they'll be like, hey, I got into this cold calling side of things. So,
Hmm.
for example, pure mind terms, right? It might be running in their mind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I got into this cold calling side of things where I'm kind of beaten black and blue with rejections,
Yeah.
etc. Right? Is this really the thing that I want to do?
Hmm.
Right? Because the opportunities are immense.
Right.
The market is growing
Right.
massively right
Hmm.
out there. What is your take onto it? I know it is very important for us to kind of find what we like and what
Yeah.
we enjoy
Yeah.
doing it for the next 20, 30 years to come.
Yes.
But how do they understand that within the first 2 years of their journey?
Yeah, again, great question. So, interns, can you relate to this? I do see a talkative intern, but talkative intern, can you relate to this? Does this exactly my point? Pardon. Uh, does this go in your mind? Why am I making cold calls and where is my life going? Okay. Great. Now people are opening up after 3 hours. Amazing. Yes. Does this go in your mind in turn?
Like, I get a lot of suggestions, so it's helping me to build my career and my like, so
Amazing. Now tell me the truth.
suppose in future,
Yeah.
if I start my own business like your people did,
Yes.
I know how the C-suite people behave,
Yes.
how the D-suite people will behave,
Yes.
so I can handle them easily.
Yes.
So cold call will help me.
Yes. Yeah, the problem with this kind of a question is always na, ki whenever I try to answer this kind of a question, it's never satisfactory. Because it's like, oh, like motivation and everything. But you know what? Yeah, like people like even people like Steve Jobs, like if you read their books and study their lectures and videos, they will always say that they were only able to connect the dots backwards. Like you only reach a stage in your life and then figure it out that, oh, this was because I was an SDR and I used to make cold calls. That is why I have so much grit and perseverance that I can like talk to any single person and not be heartbroken that they slammed like the door on me. And you can only do it backwards. It's bizarre for me that you can't do it forwards, that you can't think of it this way, that you know what, this will build resilience in me, and because I'll use this resilience in X, because the world changes, right? What you're thinking won't happen because the world is changing very fast. So the answer, I'm really sorry, like there is no one answer to this. It only depends on what kind of a person you are and what kind of a person you want to become, and if your current job role is helping you become that person or not. That is the only answer to it. It is not the journey, it is not the destination, it is what you become when you are going from your journey to your destination. The kind of person you become, that is going to define you. That is the fifth slide. That is the balance of how you go about your SDR job is very important, and not just you acing it. If you're getting 100, 150, 300% quarter on quarter, please go back and ask yourself what kind of a person you are becoming to achieve that. It's super important to do that practice today rather than figuring it out 20 years later that, oh, like my life is really not working well and I am in my mid 40s and things are not really going great. I wish like 20 years back I had quit that role and done my thing. Do this meditative exercise, it's really going to help. It's what you are becoming while you are doing it. Fair? Kind of philosophical, but I'm sorry, like the question is as well. Okay. Anything else? I know it's been, yes, yes,
So I have a question.
yes, sir.
Just curious to know why did you choose this?
Accident. I have to be honest. It was an accident, very happy accident. I was working in a non-profit preparing for my MBA, CAT. Uh, it had been 1 year. I had just given CAT. I had received an email from Naukri.com. And you know what? I was like, okay, I just thought I was in Delhi. In Delhi, I was just crossing the road and reading my email, and there was like a walk in interview in a hotel. And very surprisingly, that hotel was right across the road. So I literally walked into a walking interview because I was across the road. That never happens. It was a very big coincidence. Walked into the hotel, and then I used like Wi-Fi and everything to start studying. Okay, what is Zycus? So procurement. What is procurement? Like I did all the research there. Somehow was able to convince them. I didn't even know what BDR stood for. I swear to God, I didn't. And if I tell my boss about this, Sam, he'll hire me again and then fire me, right? But I didn't know. I just like took a chance. The first round was IQ. I was already studying for CAT, done. Second was email writing. And I wasn't an expert, but I could write good English, convincing email. So I did. And back then it was with pen and paper. I wrote my email with my hands. Submitted it. That round got done. And the next round was with the boss, my future boss, Sam Thomas. There he told me to sell this water bottle to him, like the typical question that you get, sell me this pen. I didn't do a very good job if I have to think back about it, but I did a relatively better job than the others. That's how it happened. Purely by accident. I had no intention of going into sales. None. Yes, yes. Thank you. You're on the philosophical side as well. Thank you so much. Success rate in? Yeah, I don't like tooting my own horn, but amazing. In Zycus, I was 5 years there. 3 years, I was President's Club winner. I hit my quota every single year. From an SDR, over the 5 years, I was promoted to a senior manager. Then Aditya hired me in Wingify. Amazing. Like you're talking on the phone now after asking a question. Then Aditya hired me in Wingify. He hired me for kickstarting the outbound engine 0 to 1. Worked 2 years there. Then I moved to Quizzes, built their sales engine for international markets. Now I'm doing this. I don't know if this is successful or not. You all will tell me. Some of you are on the phones, so that's okay. But still, I think it was okay what I did, and maybe you all want me here again, and maybe next time I get paid, right? So maybe let's see.
What's your page called? Like, you have done your business?
What's my page? Yeah, I have a couple of brand names in mind. One is Kickoff Outbound, one is Sales School India, one is another thing. It will soon be live. I'm in very early stages because I'm doing two businesses together. So one is B2B, where I'm consulting with companies like Clear, right? And one is more B2C, where I just help individual SDRs and AEs find their way out. So the kind of questions I'm coming across from intern and others, those I answer in those one-to-one consultations. So that's more like the B2C business, like individual help, business help. So yeah, a lot of work. Let's see. Maybe 1 year down the line, you don't have to ask that question and you already know the answer. Maybe. Yes, I saw one more raised hand. No, I did. I know it was you. Yeah. What? Oh God. Okay. Fine.
Do you post your content on
LinkedIn.
YouTube or something where you can follow?
No, I will do it. That's why I'm recording. That's a camera. So I plan to do. Oh, oh shit. But I'll take out clips and I don't know. Like I need a content creator. Anyone wants to intern, just personally message me. Okay. I need someone to do this for me. We are at the same page. But mostly I write a lot on LinkedIn. Yeah. Great. Anything else? No. I said you had a question. Yeah. Yes. In quizzes. In quizzes. Quizzes. Quizzes is a company 3 kilometers from here. You go straight, take a right. You've seen the Furlenco office? It's behind it. It's behind it. I joined there as an AE, as a founding AE. Founding AE is one of the toughest roles you can join, sign up for. It is like, hi, I'm signing up for like, I don't know. I don't want to say too negative a word, but it's very bad, like as a role, because there is no playbook, there are no colleagues, there is no training. There is a VP sales in America. Uh, you have to figure everything out by yourself, every single thing. They'll tell you, here's your Salesforce license, here's your outreach license, uh, go get money, something like that. That's it. And I'm not kidding, it is this. And I knew what I'm signing up for. But it's crazy, yaar. Yaar, if I had to do something all over again, which I'm kind of doing right now, I would do a 0 to 1. Like the kind of person you become if you can do a 0 to 1 is unbelievable. Unbelievable. If you can start something from very scratch where there is no playbook, no process, no messaging, no cadence, no training, no manager, no colleagues. There was a 12 feet table, I used to sit alone on it because I had no team. Then the US team used to come at 6:30 p.m. By the time